Growing up in the Philippines, I would help my mom cook Filipino food. Years later, when I became vegan, I learned that Filipino food can also be vegan without losing its soul. I wanted to share this discovery with family, friends, and with you. Kain na! Let's eat! Chicharon is a fun snack that's crispy, crunchy, and savory. It's perfect as a snack, appetizer, party food, or a beer pairing. In the Philippines, we call this beer pairing pulutan. But in this episode, I'll feature AstigVegan style. So I'll be showing not just one, but two ways to make vegan chicharon. The first way will be using shiitake mushrooms, which have a deep umami flavor, then coated in rice and sweet rice flour and deep fried for a nice crunch. The second way, we'll be using bean curd sheets or bean curd stick, and this can get any simpler. All you have to do is just fry away and you're ready to go. So if you're looking to get into vegan Filipino cooking and for you it just seems or sounds intimidating or complicated, well, this episode will be a great start for you. Here's what we'll need. For the mushroom chicharon, 1.5 cup dried shiitake mushrooms, 1/4 cup rice flour, 1/4 cup sweet rice flour, and a dash of sea salt. For the yuba chicharon, 1.5 cup dried bean curd sheets or bean curd stick, and a dash of sea salt. I got my ingredients at my neighborhood all-vegetarian grocery store called Rainbow Grocery in San Francisco. They have an amazing bulk section and I love it there. Now let's get started. I have a small pot here and I filled it up to like 1.5 inches to 2 inches of oil, and I turned it up to about medium heat and heat it up for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now while we're waiting for the pot to heat up, let's reconstitute the dried shiitake mushrooms. I'm gonna pour hot water to soften the dried shiitake mushrooms. Now I know what you're thinking or maybe thinking, could you use fresh mushrooms or fresh shiitake mushrooms or even white button mushrooms? Well, of course, you're more than welcome to try them. But from my experience testing them, they won't be as crunchy as using dried shiitake mushrooms. That's why I prefer it this way. So let the mushrooms soften, set it aside. So maybe about good 10 minutes. Now, if you have a frying thermometer, you can use that and see it should be at 375. But if you don't have one, and most of us don't have it handy, then you can improvise just by testing a piece of mushroom. Combine the two kinds of flour. A couple of pinches of salt there. Now this seems soft enough. Dip that in there. Maybe I will cut it in half because this is just a test. I don't want to waste a big piece if the oil is not ready yet. Okay, so if it's bubbling, that means it's ready. If it's not bubbling, that means the oil is not hot enough. If it's bubbling like crazy, like vigorously, that means it's too hot. But this is perfect, so that's what we're going for. I'm gonna remove that and start frying away here. Then I'm gonna start coating the rest. Now this feeds only about 2 to 3 servings. So if you are feeding a whole party, then feel free to just multiply the recipe. It's smelling good and it's also getting really hot in here. Now I have very similar recipes to this one. The first is the mushroom calamari and the other one is the beer battered kangkong. So if you're looking for other recipes aside from this, if you've made this already and if you want to try other simple recipes that are similar, feel free to try those too. They're looking good. I'm gonna transfer to plate lined with paper towel to drain excess oil. Smelling so good. Ta-da! And it's done, at least for the first way. Now I'm gonna show you the second way using yuba or bean curd sheets or bean curd stick, which is even easier to cook and to make into chicharon. I'm using here dried bean curd stick. And unlike the mushroom, we're not going to soften them. I bought these longer. I just pretty much cut them into smaller sizes. And I'm gonna lower the heat here because this fries instantly. You do not want to step away from the pot when you're frying this because as soon as you drop them, few seconds, done. Just few seconds. Hear the crackling. So as soon as they're golden, they're done. Even has that classic chicharon look. This, I got the idea from vietworldkitchen.com. So feel free to try that website. Now it's time to season. I'm simply going to use sea salt, but you're more than welcome to play around with it. You can add garlic powder, vegetable broth powder, seaweed flakes, but I personally highly recommend just using simple dash of sea salt. That's because this is best, especially if you're going with a Filipino style, to serve this with spicy vinegar on the side. Now with sea salt, it complements really well with the spicy vinegar dipping. And there you have it, vegan chicharon. Two ways, first with shiitake mushrooms and the other with bean curd sheets. Now I'm going to serve it with spicy vinegar for that traditional Filipino flair. And like I said earlier, this is more of a beer pairing or pulutan, so feel free to serve it with your favorite beer or your favorite drink. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. For the full recipe and other vegan Filipino recipes, just go on AstigVegan.com. I'm also on social media and I would love to hear from you. Feel free to use the hashtag AstigVegan. Thank you so much again for watching. My name's RG at AstigVegan, letting you know that Filipino food can be vegan, healthy, and delicious without losing its soul. Kain na, let's eat!
For them, but I'm all alone. Would you like to make my home your home? I can't share you.
I messed up. Sorry.